Click below to watch the original Sins video or to buy Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Once, I dreamt that on this channel I would end up doing all the Harry Potter films in order. But then, because I am a dipshit, for some reason I went, let's do the second one first. Oh, but that's not so bad, is it? I've not fucked up the order that badly. So then after that I did the fifth one. Still fully intending to do them in order, but fuck it, the fifth one, why not? So now I bring you the third one, because I still don't know how order works. Okay, let's go. When new bits of text appear on the intro card, the old bits of text that are already there jump around for no reason.
These assholes are still sending Harry back to live with abusive people during the summer?
To be fair, it's not as if they seem to give a shit about Harry's safety in term time either.
How the f*** is Harry doing this? He didn't pull out a wand, he didn't utter any spell names, so why does he have to use that shit ever if he can silently will a person he doesn't like to bloat up and float away?
Apparently, the fact that this specific spell doesn't need a wand means that all wands are useless, and why would anyone use a wand ever for anything? Just like when you see someone eating pizza without a spoon, that obviously means that spoons are useless, and why would you ever use a spoon? Just eat that soup with your fingers, you dozy shithead.
But the Muggles, can't they see us?
Muggles? They don't see nothing, do they?
All that bullshit with Ron, Harry, the flying car, and the Muggles was a bunch of bullshit.
The night bus is run by adult wizards who know what they're doing. It probably has some kind of cloaking spell or perception filter type thing on it. I'd say there's definitely enough distinction here between the night bus and a couple of 12-year-olds who stole a car and don't really know what they're doing.
Come on, everywhere else is full.
You checked 4 compartments!
Actually, she checked all the compartments, but unfortunately the scene showing her checking every single compartment was deemed too exciting for the final cut. Once people had seen that scene, they knew that there was no way that the climax of the film was going to top it, so they just walked out of cinemas. That's why most versions of the film you see today, you don't actually see her check all the compartments. It just happens off screen. No, but seriously, you do realise that things can happen off screen in films, right?
Who do you think that is?
Professor R.J. Lupin.
Since when do professors ride along with students on the train to Hogwarts?
Since the time that professors needed to go to the same place as students?
Unlike the Oracle, the new Dumbledore feels no need to explain his altered appearance.
I mean, it's obviously because he regenerated. What's that? You're saying I'm mixing up my franchises? Well, if I'm getting my franchises mixed up, then explain this.
Dumbledore clearly said the Dementors would be stationed at every entrance to the grounds, and instead they're all just hovering out over the water. Already they are f***ups.
The entrances to the grounds aren't in this shot, but obviously since there are Dementors here, you can tell that there aren't Dementors anywhere else. Obviously.
The director said, let's give you an apple to eat in this scene so you'll look like even more of an asshole.
And thus, a reoccurring piece of CinemaSins filler was born. Although actually this instance of it is pretty decent, so I'm not going to send it here.
It's great to see all those Dementors still flying around and doing their job. Oh wait.
So just to be clear, when there are Dementors over the lake, that's a sin, but when there are no Dementors over the lake, that's also a sin. Honestly, Jeremy, I don't know what you mean. Not doing their jobs. What are you talking about? Look, you can tell by the fact that the lake is empty that there are loads of Dementors at the entrances.
Black can be anywhere.
That's racist. Also, there's nothing the entire magical kingdom can do to find Sirius Black.
There's no magical kingdom in Harry Potter.
Also, there's nothing the entire magical kingdom can do to find Sirius Black. If only he were stranded on the side of the road needing a bed for the night.
Yes, of course, everyone should be able to recognise that that dog is Sirius. The next 3 sins are, in order, a really good point, something that I always thought when I watched this, and something really funny. So I'm just going to remove a sin for each one of them.
If Hermione is using a time travel device so that she can be in 2 places at once, why would Ron notice anything abnormal?
Ridiculous!
Holy sh! She just turned that cobra into something even scarier. Why is everyone laughing?
They're your mother, Lily's.
Oh yes, I knew her.
This dude totally f***ed your mom, Harry. Also, way to give away your position, assface.
Ah yes, because in the magical world, something floating by itself is a cause for suspicion, definitely.
If, while trying to hide from a werewolf, you back into a clearing, you deserve to die.
To deserve is a subjective concept.
Harry and Hermione resigned themselves to werewolf death instead of, I don't know, casting a spell at it or something.
If Harry or Hermione knew a convenient anti-werewolf spell, they would have used it already. Here's a missed sin. When Peter Pettigrew turns from a man into a rat, he's wearing clothes, but when he turns from a rat into a man, he loses his clothes.
Okay, so they did all the stuff they needed to do. They saved Buckbeak, they distracted the werewolf, and Harry sent Dear Jesus toward the Dementors, but nothing to prevent Peter Pettigrew from escaping? Couldn't they have spent a little time figuring out what they needed to do before they actually left? Invisible cloak, check.
Invisible cloak? I think you mean invisibility cloak. An invisible cloak would be fairly useless, unless you're a keen exhibitionist but you live somewhere really, really cold. And also, you'd never be able to find it.
Let's talk about the movie's time travel. They go back in time, but practically everything we see them do is stuff that happened the first time through. Harry getting hit with a rock, distracting the werewolf, etc. This is a paradox of Terminator proportions unless there's an original unique experience where the time turner isn't being used. Harry and crew would go to Hagrid's cabin and likely get caught by Dumbledore. Then none of the things we see happen would actually happen. They don't save Buckbeak, Ron doesn't lose his rat, Sirius doesn't drag Ron into the tree and into the shack, Harry doesn't find out Scabbers is Peter Pettigrew, Lupin turns into a werewolf somewhere else, and Sirius doesn't get nailed by the Dementors. And scene. The problem with this, though, besides the fact that we in the audience didn't get to see this original experience, is that at this point, only Buckbeak has been harmed, and you weren't using a time travel device just to go back and save that asshole. They don't have any other motivation to begin going back and trying to fix stuff. Thus, a paradox.
None of it made any difference. Pettigrew escaped.
That's what I'm saying!
Okay, I do want to sin this because this isn't necessarily a paradox, but I don't think I can phrase this sin any better than the top commenter on the original video already has, so here's that comment. To keep it short, the type of time travel seen in this movie is called a closed loop, wherein they don't change anything but fulfill what they would have to do to prevent a paradox. In that time scheme, it's extremely linear and deterministic, which would fit the Harry Potter law of being able to see the future through various means. So that's the end of that. The sin total was 12 sins. And let's say the punishment is, I don't know, let's say a paradox. Yeah, I like that. Anyway, now it's time for an end segment. Hello, one and all, and welcome to this end segment in which I'm in uni. So today, what I'm going to do is basically just going to talk at you. You know what? To start off, just for fun, just for the fuck of it, let's answer some comments. Just a few. I'm not gonna go wild. Turn on, you fuck. That's one of my pickup lines. Also, I'm sorry about the background noise today. It's just I live next to a highly used road now, so yay. Minecraft Master Dude says, your 100th like. Oh no, seriously, I do appreciate it, thank you. If it's such a shitty editing software, are you still sure you want to keep using it? Right, it's time I address this. I have moved, as you might be able to tell. I live in Scotland now, and I don't have access to the PC that I used to edit on, so I am stuck, for the time being, using iMovie, which is a pile of shit. You know, actually, for a future end segment, I may indeed do reasons that iMovie is shit. Thierry says, oh, how I've missed you. I've missed you too, Thierry. I've missed you too. Click's thinking, who would waste their time doing this? Here's reviewer's voice. Oh, carry on then. This is a hate comment, right? I don't understand what the insult is supposed to be here. You have a voice that sounds like you would waste your time. I, for one, feel insulted. Hi, sick. I'm Dad. Hi, Dad. I'm Daddy. I'm not going to put that in. Going from Stickman 3000 to Cinema Sins is the worst decision Jay ever made. His content could never be as good as this. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, and everyone agrees. Well, that was a little bit of brief fun, but now let's move on. Because now that I've moved to Scotland, I have 7 flatmates, and the majority of them are wanting to feature in Cinema Sins in an end segment. So, here's what I want you to do. I would like you to leave in the comments questions for these people that I have now been living with for a month. Yes, granted, you know nothing about them and have nothing to go on, but hey, maybe that'll make it more fun. This is really just going to be an experiment. I have no idea how this is going to go. Hopefully it goes well. It might not. If not, oh well. And with that, I'm going to leave you. I hope you've enjoyed this. Goodbye.